Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. How was your day?
It's good.
Okay, so did you already eat your dinner?
Yes.
What did you have for dinner?
Meat with some rice and some vegetables.
Meat, some rice, and some vegetables. Is it cold in Vietnam today?
Yes.
Ooh, I see. Okay, so I remember I sent this one to you in Messenger. Okay, so let's answer this part. So we stopped here last meeting. Okay, so complete the sentences using the adjectives in the list above. Okay, so let's try number one. Did you know Mr. Bean? Do you know the show Mr. Bean? Or are you familiar with that?
I don't. Comedy scene?
Oh, Mr. Bean. Are you familiar with Mr. Bean?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so Mr. Bean is a blank film. I was laughing from beginning to end. Is it boring, entertaining, hilarious, violent, gripping, moving, scary, or shocking?
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Okay, so hilarious. What about number two? Titanic is a film. I cried at the end. Hmm? Is it boring, entertaining, violent, moving, scary, or shocking? Mhm.
I think violent.
Oh, violent. Have you ever watched Titanic before?
No.
Oh, you don't know what is a Titan? You don't know the movie Titanic? You're not familiar with the movie Titanic. You haven't heard the movie Titanic before?
No.
Oh, I see. So I will give number two as it's like a bonus question. I think this one is moving. When we say the film is moving, it is somewhat made us cry. We can somewhat relate to that movie. And the movie Titanic, if I am not mistaken, this was shown. It is an old film shown on 1997, if I'm not mistaken. I really can't remember the year. And it is, or it was a story. It is a love story, actually. It is a love story. Oh, by the way, Titanic is a ship, a very huge ship, and then it carries a lot of people. I can't remember where is the exact location the ship sailed from this point to this point. I can't really remember. But this one is very famous. The characters, the main characters are named Jack and Rose. Okay, so let me give you an insight of the movie. So, Rose, she is rich and she's meant to marry a very rich merchant set up by her mother. While Jack, he's not that rich. Actually, he isn't rich. So Jack won the ticket. You know, when you go on sailing, you need to have that ticket. So he won the ticket on gambling, the Titanic ticket on gambling. And then there is where he met Rose. Since on those days, it is quite taboo, or rich people don't really like to marry their son or daughters on what they called not aristocrat, not part of their circle. Rose parents, together with his supposed to be husband, don't like Jack because he is poor. And then the story goes on. Rose and Jack met at the Titanic. They fell in love, so on and so on. But this story, this is a tragic one. Did you know what is tragic? The meaning of tragic?
No.
Okay, hold on. Okay, this one.
Bi thảm,
Okay, that is tragic. Story of Titanic is tragic because as they go on sail, they encounter a huge iceberg wherein Titanic hit that iceberg, causing it to sink. And at the end of the story, Jack died and Rose lived. That's why this movie is quite moving. Okay, I love this movie. What about the third one? Can you read the third one?
Uh, the film was so boring that we almost fell asleep.
Okay, oh, this one, my dear, is fell. This one,
Oh,
fell, fell asleep. Okay, what about the fourth one?
mm, violent.
Oh, violent. A fifth one. Mhm.
Or shocking.
Oh, shocking. Shocking. Number 6.
Scary.
Oh, scary. Okay, number 7.
Oh, creeping.
Oh, number 7. I heard you correct. Gripping?
Mm, yeah.
Yes? Okay. What about the last number?
Entertaining.
Okay, entertaining. See the answer. Mr. Bean is yes, hilarious or funny, comedy. Okay, moving. Very nice. Third one, boring. Fourth one, we can also say that the movie is gripping or intense. Shocking, very good. Scary, violent. Okay, there are too many fights in the action film. It was too violent. Okay, and the last number is entertaining. Okay, good job nonetheless. Mm, Okay, so we can form adjectives by adding ed or ing ending to some verbs. Oh, this one is quite interesting. Okay, so we use ed adjectives to describe someone's feeling. The film was long and I was bored. Okay, so the adjective bored came from what verb? Mhm. Can you guess?
Mm,
Okay. So, as the definition, we use ed adjectives to describe some feelings. So this one, by adding ed to the endings of some verbs. But this is not applicable to all of the verbs we have in English. There are just some verbs that we can add ed or ing to make them on their adjectives form. So this one is from the verb for, which means adverb that means it is not really interesting. Okay, so we use ing adjectives to describe things or people. Okay, so that cause the feeling. Okay, so when we transform this verb, what is that? Oh, is it in my end? Oh, sorry. I heard some screaming noises. I thought it is on my end. Okay. So this one, when we transform this one, this is from pour. We added ed and it becomes poured. Now, when we put ing, it will become pouring. Okay, so the field was long and pouring. Now, aside from this sentence, can you make a sentence out of the word bored?
Uh, I am bored.
I am bored. Okay. What about the word boring?
Um, Legend is not boring.
Oh, can you please repeat that?
Um, Legend is boring.
Okay. Okay, good job. Trouble done. Okay, so let's see the next page. Oh, complete the table with ed and ing forms of the adjectives. Okay, sorry, I think it is on my end. That is my neighbor, I think. Okay, if a person or thing is, okay, so the example here is boring, then then she makes you bored. Okay. Mhm. Okay, so interesting. If we add ed and remove some of the words, it will become. Oh, you can type down your answer.
Um, I don't like white.
Oh, it's okay because I saw you mute your microphone. Okay. If you don't like to write, you can type down your answer. And if your background is quite noisy, if you don't like to write, you can say your answer. And if your background is quite noisy, you don't want me to hear your background, you can mute your microphone and type down your answer. Okay, so number one.
Interested.
Okay, very nice. What about embarrassed?
Um, embar- Embarrassing.
Okay, embarrassing. Excited.
Exciting.
Okay, exciting. Disappointing.
Disappointed.
Okay. Exhausting.
Excited.
Okay. Surprise.
Uh, Surprising.
Mm-hmm. Confusing.
Confused.
Okay. Okay, confused. Frightened.
Fright, Frightening.
Okay, frightening. Okay, and annoying is annoyed. Okay, good job. Now, I want you to use the word interesting in a sentence. Form a sentence using the word interesting.
Can you repeat that?
Use the word interesting to form a sentence.
I'm interested in playing games.
I am interested. Okay, interested. What about excited?
Uh, I'm excited in I'm excited about playing football.
Okay, I'm excited about playing football. What about embarrassing?
Uh,
Embarrassing. I will give an example. I do have a lot of embarrassing memories. I slipped on the stairs yesterday, and that is embarrassing. Mhm.
uh, can you make another example?
I will give another example. What else? Okay, let me type it down. So you do have a pattern. Uh-huh. Okay, it was embarrassing moment. Okay, so it was an embarrassing moment.
Mm,
Mhm.
it was an embarrassing moment.
Oh yeah, that is my example. It was an embarrassing moment. What about yours? Can you make your own sentence?
Uh, I was an embarrassing moment.
Oh, can you please repeat that? I.
Wasn't
Oh, it wasn't an.
embarrassing moment.
Okay. Oh, mine is affirmative. Well, yours you make it negative. Okay. Okay. Interested, embarrassing, exciting, disappointed. Very good. And so on. Now, choose the correct adjective. Okay. So the and. Oh, please read number one.
The end of the film was so mm,
Mhm.
movie.
Okay, was so moving. Very good. Number two.
Um, the boy was so frightened by the pain that he couldn't sleep last night.
Okay, good job. Okay, number three.
Um, critics were disappointed uh, at his performance as King Lear.
Okay, so the fourth one.
Uh, I am amazing uh, that he has won to Oscar for Best Actor.
Okay, so what is your answer? Amaze or amazing?
Amazing.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so what about the last number?
Uh, we were we were terrified
Okay, we were terrified.
of the ending of that horror film.
Okay, very nice. So we were terrified at the ending of that horror film. Okay, very good. Okay, nice one. How well done. Okay, so look at the questions below. Tell how you felt using ed adjective. Okay, so how you feel? Okay, so we got example. I felt terrified before my last math test. Okay, so how did you feel before your last math test? Oh, when was the last time that you took an examination, a very hard or difficult examination?
Okay, you repeat that?
Okay, sorry. Am I talking too fast? I think I am talking too fast. Oh, sorry for that. When was the last time when you took um, a difficult examination? When was the last time when you took a difficult examination?
Uh, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. Oh, what subject is that?
Is uh, English and math.
Oh, English and math. Oh, how do you feel about taking those difficult exams? Were you
Can
bored?
you repeat that?
Oh, how do you feel taking those difficult examinations? Were you bored? Terrified? Scared? Oh, terrified, scared.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know what is terrify me.
Oh, you don't know. Terrified?
Yes.
Oh, terrified is Mm-hmm. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Oh no. Oh, what's wrong with this one? Oh, hold on. Okay. Terrified means. Oh, it means scary. Oh, wow. Oh, hold on. There's something wrong with my keyboard. Can you wait for a sec? Let me use my the keyboard of my laptop. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. So terrified. Terrified. Oh, it means scary. You are somewhat scared, and you can feel the fast beating of your heart.
I feel it's normal.
How you weren't terrified to take those examination.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, so last 2 weeks, right? Last 2 weeks, you weren't terrified to take those difficult examination.
No,
Wow, why?
because I feel it easy.
Oh, you prepared for that?
Mm, not much.
Oh, not much. Okay, but you at least review your lessons.
Yes.
I see. Okay, so what about when you watch gripping film? Oh, do you know what is the meaning of gripping film?
I don't know what is
Okay,
creeping
let
in.
me see. Okay, oh no. So let me disabled my other. Hold on, let me disable my other keyboard because it's not working well. Okay, let's see. Gripping. Okay, gripping story. Okay, there we go. Oh, this one. Gripping story, a gripping film. What is it? Oh, can you see it?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Oh, how do you feel about gripping stories? Mhm.
I feel it's creepy.
Oh, you think it is?
Creepy.
Mm-hmm. Can you please repeat your answer? You think it is?
It's creepy.
Oh, it's creepy. Okay, so what about after you watch horror film? Oh, here we go. Oh, Sorry for that. I disabled my other keyboard. Okay, so what about when you watch horror film?
What film?
What do you feel about? Oh, it's break. About what watching horror film? Mm-hmm.
It's it's scary.
Are you scared?
Yes, I feel scared.
Okay, so you feel scared. Okay. Okay, so what about when you got a bad mark? I don't know if you ever experienced having a bad mark before. Have you experienced?
Yes,
Have
I understand.
Ooh, okay, so on what subject?
I don't.
Can you still remember what subject you got a bad mark?
Literature.
Oh, can you please repeat what subject is that?
Literature.
Oh, which? Okay, literature. Why is it? Do you find literature as a difficult subject?
No, but I don't like to learn
Oh,
literature.
oh, you don't like, you don't like writing stories, essays, reading stories, poems. You don't like those.
Yes,
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, at least you got bad mark because you don't like the subject, not because you are bad on that specific subject itself. Okay, so what do you feel about having bad mark on literature?
I feel sad.
Oh, you feel sad. Okay, so what did your mother tell you? Where you got scolded?
My mom tell me is try that as another example.
Oh, try your best. Wow. Okay, on other exam. Oh, your mother is the best. Let's see if we can still finish this one. Okay, so mhm. So listen and repeat verbs. Pay attention to the sound t, z, and id at the end of each verb. Let me try to play this one.
Activity 5. Listen and repeat the verbs. Pay attention to the sounds t, d, and id at the end of each verb.
played, watched, waited, danced, bored, closed, needed, walked, hated.
Okay,
Now, in pairs, put the words in the correct column.
Okay, so he says that in pairs, but I want you to do it well on your own. Okay, so let's try to sort out them according to their ending sounds. Okay, so what about this word? Can you read this word for me?
Uh,
Mhm. Or do you want to listen again?
Play it in D.
Okay, so played in t, d, or id.
Yes.
One, two. What column? First, second, third.
2.
Third one, third column.
It's 2 columns.
This one, I'm sorry, I can't hear you quite clear.
Play in 2.
Oh, on second column. Okay, sorry. Okay. What about this word?
It is 1.
Okay. What about this one? Can you read this one for me?
It is 3.
Okay, on the third one. What about the next word, my dear? Please read the next word.
Two.
Okay, the third one here. Okay, what
No,
about oh,
that's in 2.
number 2. Okay, the second column. Okay, what about the next one? The next words, my dear.
Uh, it's column 2nd.
Okay, so the second. Okay, so the next word is, what is the next word? What column is it?
Is in second column.
Mm. What about the next word? Needed.
In 3.
Okay, third one.
Lấy con luôn.
Okay, what about the next one?
Second.
Okay, the last word.
Number 3. Number third column.
Third column. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so there we go. We will check this one next meeting since I am very overtime again. And I'm sorry for that. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay, so no question. Okay, so since you don't have further question, let's see each other again next meeting, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so tap it.